Welcome to another edition of Orlando Lions Den podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Jason JJ Jose. Today we're here with two because the other two, or I'm here with two. The other two, actually, one's on the injured, got injured like Patu, and the other one is in La La Land at Disney like Nani was last night or yesterday against Atlanta. So welcome, guys. Welcome. Eddie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. This is good. It's already started, man. We're ready. We got the beefs flying already, and I'm excited for this one. It was good. Good to be in the stadium and everything. Good to be here too.
Great to be in that stadium. Finally opened up. We were at 50%. 11,500 and something were in that stadium. So that was about 50%. It was a sellout crowd for what we're allowed to have for COVID, and hopefully in 3 more games, home games from here, we'll be at 100%. Cleon, what's happening?
Man, it's all good, man. It felt so good to be back in the stadium. Been 5 months. Man, 5 months too long for me. I can't wait till it's 100%, but we at that 50% rocking for the most part. Missed it, man. Missed it a lot. Happy to be back.
Awesome.
Screw Atlanta.
It's great.
But
it's great. It was great to see everybody in that stadium.
Now, can I say something about that?
Faces.
Didn't the 50% capacity look remarkably similar to when we were sold out before? Remember when they would announce a sellout crowd or 18,000. Remember that? It looked just like the 11.5.
But it looked
as full as when we were bad 2 years ago.
Something else that got me was last year when we were in the playoffs.
Yeah,
it was supposed to be at 15% capacity. It looked like yesterday's capacity, and they were at 50%.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me.
A lot of these numbers, it wasn't. I don't even think it was 50% yesterday. I think it looked fuller than that. They just said it was 11, and when it was 15, it was like 40. And then when they used to say it was sold out or 23,000 announced crowd, remember that announced crowd? It was more like 11.5.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyways.
All right, guys. Well, let's go to our sponsors real quick. Tuga Landscaping for all your landscaping needs. Get with Tuga Landscaping. Accurate Mortgage. If you have any need for some loans, mortgage loans, or anything like that, get with Leo Gonzalez, the vice president at Accurate Mortgage Group, and he'll take care of all your needs. He'll get you the lowest rates. I know there's some low VA rates right now going on and everything, so get it before they skyrocket back up. And Eddie.
We got Field Turf USA. Proud to have them as one of our sponsors. Again, with this Champions League, and most of the pitches, they have some influence in the pitches and the training facilities, and they probably will have the same influence in the Super League too. So glad to have such a super sponsor.
The Super League, which only has 3 countries in it. Okay.
Super sponsor.
Yeah, super sponsor at the Super League. All righty, guys. Let's talk about Orlando City against the team from up north, the Atlanta Trashers. I mean, the Atlanta United, whatever they're called over there. I mean, they when they play, they have the Atlanta Falcons stuff at the stadium and Mercedes, BMW, whatever. All right. So we go into the game. It was a tie game. Very interesting lineup that I thought. Uri Rosell wasn't even dressed up. Janssen came up to being injured, and we learned that I think it was Friday or Thursday that Robin was not going to play. And then Kyle Smith played on left back, not Andres Pereira, like I thought was going to happen.
When he came in at half, I thought he was coming in at left back. I was like, JJ.
And then Pato played a little bit up. Tesho, I don't know. They were switching back and forth. But interesting game. I want to say we had our opportunities. I think we played better than Atlanta. But I just felt like it was a 0-0 tie. They were both playing for a tie. And it was all played in the midfield area, the game. We did have an opportunity. I know Pato tried. He had 4 Atlanta guys on the ground, or 3 or whatever. And then here comes Seba Mendez trying to score the goal, and I think you should have let it for Pato. Pato would probably had scored it. And Urso kicked one into the wall, and that was basically it, I think.
Riva zone.
And then there was an inbound that passed from, I think it was Seba Mendes, Mueller. And then Pato comes in from behind and tries to get it. And Guzan, the goose, basically just puts his hand out and saves it. But fair enough. It was a tie game. We got a point out of it. I just feel like it was more of a playing in the midfield area, and they were playing for a tie, both of them. Cleon, what's your thoughts on the game yesterday?
Yeah, it's since it was first game, it's like it's a little difficult to read because it's I don't know how much of it is Atlanta. Then with Atlanta being a completely different team this year, I don't know how much of it was them being good defensively. I don't know if it was just a little bit of time. And to me, it seemed like we are just very close on little minimal details like with timing and things like that, trying to catch Pato on that, playing off somebody's back shoulder, and maybe the pass just being literally 2 yards too long, or you know what I mean. So we had plenty of opportunities. I shouldn't say plenty, but we had some opportunities where we probably later in the season we will be banging those in. I was a little disappointed, honestly, because it's just me. I don't like to lose to Atlanta, bro. I don't want to do it. We didn't lose, but we didn't win. So, I want to beat the hinges off them boys every time I see them. But Joseph Martinez did not score, so all good in the hood.
He got a haircut. He had his hair all basically taken off. I asked him. He walked out of the tunnel. I asked him if he wanted a rose, and he just continued walking. So I don't know. The security had to come up to me and tell me, "Hey, you can't beat this." And I was like, "Hey, I was just asking if you wanted a rose." That was Eddie. Your thoughts on the game?
Well, look, I expected a slow start because this is our first match, and this is our first match of the season. We've just been preseason matches. Atlanta's already played a couple, important matches for them, so they're going to have more flow. They're going to be more cohesive, and that was obvious. We had some chances where just a lack of just clinical, play cost us. Slow transitions, passes on counters a little behind, a little slow, players in different spots, and you're getting used to it. Tesho was playing as striker. Pato was like a 10, second 9 kind of thing, and then you're just playing with new teammates. Nani's been out for a bit too, so even Pato playing with Nani and stuff like that. And who knows what, how much Mendes just got back too. Mendes and Nani just came back themselves. So there's going to be some cohesion issues with something like that. So I expected that. Atlanta is spent $16 million or so on their roster, and they're a better team this year. They're better coached, and they have better players. And they got some of those players got some vital minutes last year. Some of them are still good. And they didn't even have their center back, their supposedly best one, Franco, but playing in this one. So who knows? I don't think a point against Atlanta is bad. I think they're going to be a good team. I put them one spot behind us or so in our standings last week. So I don't think it's bad. No, did I want to win? Of course. Did we have the better chances? Of course. Pato was a deflection from his own teammate away. I mean, that was like U7. Like when I coached my daughter's team, I was just like, we would do pretty good. We were always competitive because we found out a way how to separate them, because kids just flock together like a magnet to the ball. And that's what Sebas did to Pato. I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. It was trying to follow the rebound, but he went the wrong way, man. It blew that completely. And then Pato had a good shot. Mueller kind of skipped up the ball a little. It wasn't a great ball in, but Walks, I guess is his name, right? The defender from
Anton Walks.
Anton Walks got a little bit of just like his foot on it, deflected it enough to slow it down, where Guzan, who turns into Manuel Neuer when he plays us, was able to make that stop. So, I mean, Pato was inches, away from a brace and another debut. And as Miguel Gallardo had said, I think he scored in all his debuts but one, now 2. And so yet again, Orlando draws. It's 7 opening days, 6 draws, 1 win. The one win was the first game against or NYC at home at the Explorer Stadium, Kyle Laren's goal, and everything else has been a draw. So I do think JJ's right. I think that there was some hesitancy to open up, right? There was a lot of let's.
That was
let's
actually
kind of,
incorrect. The first game was not a win. It was a draw. It was Kakas.
No, he said Explorer. The first
Explorer.
Oh,
Stadium.
Explorer. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
sorry. I thought you were talking about. Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Right.
all the Camping Worlds were ties, and then after that,
Yep.
one Explorer has been a tie. Yeah, and yeah, I do think there was some hesitancy a little bit to play for a draw, for sure. At some point, there was, the Atlanta did a good job of really getting us wide. They were attacking really wide a lot, and it was giving us some problems at the beginning. And their press was giving us problems until they made some adjustments, added some numbers in the midfield. We were able to beat the press because, I get this whole playing out of the back thing, but sometimes it's a bit of a cult, man. Like as an Arsenal fan, I've seen them play out of the back into a back pass into a tap and go for the other team because they just adhere to the philosophy of playing from the back, and sometimes you just got to just say, screw that and boot it. And a couple times we almost got caught like that. Schlegel remember he got his.
Oh yeah, he
pick?
almost
Yeah,
right in the box.
Yeah, you play from the back. It's beautiful, whatever. But we made some. Poppy made some adjustments after that water break, and we got a lot better. But and then we started creating some chances. And on another day, we take that. We win. And also, I want to say this team in the past would have lost this match. Like, okay, well, we didn't win it, but we're not a pushover, and their mentality is better. And under Oscar, that's what makes Oscar's team so good. Is they get points. They get 1 point. They get 3. They find weird ways to win, and he doesn't lose a lot. And that's how you build up in the standings. I don't think ultimately at the end of the year or even in a couple of months, it's going to look like a bad draw at home against Atlanta. They're pretty good, and given the situation, it's just disappointing. I wanted to win and we should have, but I'm not mad, I guess.
Something that I was watching yesterday was Brad Guzan kicking it to the side all the time. I don't know if you guys noticed. He was kicking it to the side, and then at one point, Chris Mueller saw that he was going to go to that side, went to the guy on the far right side, and took the ball away and came in. But what's to me is, if you see, to me, Brad Guzan did not kick one ball straight down the middle. It was always to the side, always. Now, as a player or a coach, I would think that your players would get wider, not concentrate more in the middle, go wide, because that's all he's doing is kicking those balls to the side. And Mueller caught one and even took it back towards goal, and then he lost it. But if you see him doing that, why not do it? Why don't you spread your players and everything? And that was frustrating me because I saw that right from the first half. And
we were very narrow. We were very narrow all match. That Nani was cutting inside a lot to help with the midfield, and it helped that he played on the right because Juan was able to provide some width. But when he's on the left, if he's cutting inside with Kyle Smith at left back, you have no offensive contributions or width from him. So it worked a lot better when Mueller staying out wide on the left. It worked a lot better when they switched sides, in my opinion. Because we were so narrow all match, so narrow.
And Juan, to me, looks like he's gotten a little slower. There was one that he couldn't even. The guy was with him the whole time. I don't know if the Atlanta player is fast or he's getting a step a little bit slower.
I thought he penetrated and ran back a couple balls and penetrated just fine with speed. I thought that cross he played into Pereira was nice too. I think Juan I thought he had a good game.
No, he had a good game. I'm talking about speed wise.
Yeah,
I just feel like he's lost a step or two to the speed that he used to have.
Maybe.
Look at ball possession. We only had 40% of the ball possession compared to Atlanta's 60%. Yeah. And if you look at the game, to me, it looked like we had more ball possession.
We just had it in. We had it in better. We had it in better areas. I think. Yeah.
All right, guys, let's go and talk about our debuts of the two guys, Vanderwater and Patu, and how they did. I'll go first. Vanderwater, to me, when he got subbed in, yes, it was late, but he showed me something, brilliance. he showed me some nice footworks and nice movement with the ball, and he schooled a couple of guys in Atlanta. That one of them actually went to the ground, and because he when he kicked or when he was dribbling, he passed right by him. Pato, on the other hand, I don't know if it's because he was playing out of position at the beginning. He showed signs of brilliance also, but didn't really, I would have thought he would have been way better than what he was. But then again, it is Patu, and Patu to me is, we'll see how the rest goes. But that's all I have to say. But Eddie, tell me about Vanderwater and Pato.
Vanderwater, they look saucy, man. As they say in England, man's got tech, for sure. He's got some skills. He really wanted to be here, and I said it before, he's aggressive, man. He takes it to people. He's fearless. And I just want to make sure that he plays within the team. Sometimes you get those wingers really want to show their mettle, show who they can do, and it's early Ronaldo Man U. It's a lot of techers, a lot of stuff, and not, we need some end product. Maybe, Ruhuan was over there overlapping. He wasn't even looking his way. So I want to see it. I want to see him get more minutes and see how he plays within the team, But man, he's got some ability and he's fearless. There were 2 or 3 people on him at times, and he was still able to be productive. And I'm very excited what he can do. I like his size. I like his speed. He's very quick. I'm excited about Vanderwater a lot. And with the rotations we're going to need to be doing, I mean, I can't see him really, let loose for 90 minutes and see what he can do. I was excited about him for reals. And Pato, I thought Pato was overall, if you watch his whole game in context, I thought he had a good debut. I think he was just a couple inches away from a brace. And there were some moments that looked bad. And I think the way he plays is not going to be aesthetically what Orlando City fans want. Orlando City fans want that face, and they did this hustle. Sometimes hustle that's meaningless, like a hustle for a press where you're not even close. That kind of stuff. Obviously, Pato seems like he's economical a little bit. He's a guy who's had some injuries. He seems economical in some of his movement. So I think until he starts scoring, I don't see him being like a fan favorite here. They like hustle in Orlando more. And Pato looked like he didn't hustle at times. He's going to make it look lazy, and they're going to start nitpicking everything. There were some things I think he tried to pull off, but I think it didn't work. This is the thing about MLS and about Americans generally in regards to football. Technique isn't quite there, but power and speed is generally there, right? So he tried a couple times to play something off their back and turn, and he got stopped. He tried to take someone on, and they stuck a foot in, and it was a physical match. In the first half, until we switched Tesho, we got Tesho out and put Andres Perea in, he was being man-marked by Santiago Sosa like crazy. Sosa was all up on him, like PDA. Like, I mean, this was like no social distancing. He was like glued to him, and he wasn't getting the ball unless it was in the air. So he wasn't getting it to feet. He wasn't getting it to feet when space. He wasn't getting it in space. And when he was in space, you could see how he has like a cow factor where he just kind of glides, where he passed out one, and then that would give and go where with Tesho had a nice little back heel to him, and then he fell on the ground. I mean, that was his dribbling in there was just so nice. I was hoping he just let it rip actually. But I think he grew into the game. I think just like Antonio Carlos last year, he maybe underestimated the MLS a little bit, right? And it was a little bit slow. And then, as he grew into it in the match, and as he continues to play, he'll gauge the speed and the physicality a little more, a little better. And I think he's gonna be great. Hopefully he's not hurt. Looked like he slipped on the ball, is what I saw. I saw a replay. He slipped on the ball with the right foot. He just kind of went right over the top and then landed a little weird. And hopefully that might be a little better than if he was just like a straight-legged plant, as you see where someone tears an ACL. So hopefully he's okay. He accepted his man of the match award and whatnot. He came out. He wasn't right to the hospital. So I'm optimistic, but, Orlando City is like the CAA with this stuff. They don't tell you anything when it comes to injuries.
Before I go to Cleon, going back to Patu, there were some moves that he did. There was one that he had the guy, and then the ball was coming to him. He flicked it to the right, the ball, and he did get fouled. I mean, I think there's a couple that the ref Jair Marufo did not call on him.
Yeah.
That he did. I don't know. Cleon, you said the one on the PK, the one that he got toppled down. I don't know if it was inside the box or it was on the other side by the wall.
I was in the box.
Was he in the box? Was that a foul? Did you guys ever see a replay on that? Because I didn't.
I saw the replays. It's you can go 50-50. He definitely got pulled, but he also did a little bit of pulling himself. So it's one of those to where I don't think it was egregious. Like if they would have blew the whistle, I think it would have been warranted. If they didn't,
then they didn't.
Nobody's gonna riot about it either. It was one of those 50-50 because it was contact coming from both guys. He definitely did get pulled down. So usually I would say a lot of times with another referee, it probably would have been called, but that the official we had Saturday, he wasn't calling anything for anybody.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was, but that was consistent. You know what I mean? So him not blowing that. Yeah. So him not blowing that whistle during that game, it was consistent with the way he had been calling the game. So it wasn't that big of a deal for me. It definitely could have been called, and at some point you see one like that again, it definitely will get called. But it wasn't egregious. Let's put it like that.
All right, Cleon, tell us about your what you thought about Vanderwater and Patu debuts.
I'll start with Vanderwater since he wasn't in as long, so it should be a little shorter. He's my type of player, man. Dude's saucy, man. He's saucy. Like he's got a little bit of swagger. He's got a little bit of attitude. You can see it. I was joking with you guys in our chat. I don't know if anybody's heard him do any interviews yet in English, but his English, he sounds like Zlatan when he talks. Like his English accent, it sounds like how Zlatan speaks when he's speaking English. So it's like he kind of gives me those types of vibes, bro. So but yeah, he's got a little bit of show off to him, and I'm here to be entertained, so I'm all for it. Those are my type of players, man. I like dudes like that. Yeah, he looks like he's got a lot of skill on the ball. Definitely doesn't seem like he's going to be afraid. The same things he was trying to pull off during his little short stint here. The same stuff you see in his, if anyone's looked up his highlight stuff from Netherlands. So he's not afraid. He's not afraid of the league. I think he's good. I think he's gonna be, people's gonna like him, I think. Right. Pato. With Pato, I think a lot of people don't know how he plays. So it's like I think it's a lot of what people are criticizing is out of lack of familiarity with his style of play, the way he plays. If you're used to seeing Tesho and Dom Dwyer and Daryl DK for the past, or even Kyle Laren for our amount of time, this guy's not. He's not that type of nine. He's completely different type of nine. Even Dom Dwyer, even though he's a small statured man, he tries to play like he's Daryl DK. You know what I mean? So a lot. I think we're used to seeing these big forwards, and he's a finesse guy. He doesn't try to overpower. He doesn't do anything like that. So a lot of times, even in the situations where you see him lose a ball, if you go look up his highlights, I challenge anybody go look at his highlights from AC Milan or wherever, even China. You'll see him when he does lose the ball, he loses it the exact same way in these same type of situations. The same way how you see Nani, and Nani gets the ball off to the side, and he'll hold it for a little bit, and he'll either pull it off or he'll lose it, and that's just something you deal with Nani. That's the thing with Pato. Like Pato, a lot of times what he does is he pushes the ball ahead and catches up to it. It's very unique to me. I haven't seen a lot of players play like that, honestly. But if you go and you look at his stuff from his 16-year career, that's what he does. He'll get the ball and he'll kick it up ahead a good distance. Even on the one where when he was in the traffic and he put all the guys on the ground, even with Guzan. And I think that's what happened with Sebas. When the ball gets away from Pato like that, Pato knows where the ball is. Like that's what he does. He'll shoot it out. He'll knock it over there, and then he'll just run. He'll jump over guys. He doesn't dive a lot. He jumps over contact. He doesn't really take the contact. He avoids the He's got really good feet, so he avoids contact a lot. He's not a guy that runs straight into the contact or try to play you physical. He's very finesse. So even on a situation like that, to where Guzan's on the ball and he'll try to round the keeper, he won't keep the ball on his foot. He'll knock it out. He'll kick it over there, then jump over a guy. He'll jump over the keeper and run up, catch it, and kick it in. That's what he does. A lot of times he'll, I don't want to call it a dummy because it's not really a dummy, but even when he's like, his hold up style is even like that. Like the ball will come and he'll just let the ball, if he catches it, he'll just come and he'll kick it out a good 3-4 yards away, run up and catch it. And that's just the way he plays. But I think it's going to take a while for fans to get you and apparently his teammates too, according to Sebas, seeing what Sebas was doing. But it'll take a while for us to get acclimated to this is what he does and this is how he plays. And he's very effective at it. The guy, he scores goals wherever he's been, whether he jumps around a lot or whatever, he scores goals. He's a goal scorer. That's what he does. Like Eddie was saying earlier, he was literally two slight deflections away from having a brace, and no one's saying anything except for, oh my God, Pato just opened up his account in MLS with a brace. The first one where Mueller sent it into the middle with that one was deflected off Anton Walks. He got a little slight deflection. It slowed it down, brought the trajectory down, and Guzan barely stopped it. It almost got in behind him, but he caught it. And then the other one in the box, which is why I like the sign in the first place. The way he's able to handle the ball in tight pressure and in small spaces like that, in all the traffic, and you see he literally put 3 guys on the ground. You know what I mean? That's how he is. He's very good with the ball in those type of little space situations. And like Eddie said, he's not a guy that's going to go out there and he's not going to look like he's playing hard. Even when he does score and he's doing these things, makes a great assist, he's not going to look like he's doing very hard. He's like, you were spot on when you said he's like Kaká, to where now, I mean, Kaká, a lot of times he does look like he's running hard, well, at least in his prime. But where he just has that glide, you know what I mean? And Pato, that's how he plays. He's very calm. He's very just calm, cool, and collected when he's on that ball, even in traffic. So for me, he looked dangerous, man. He looked dangerous. It's just not in the usual ways we are used to seeing our strikers look dangerous. We're used to guys just knocking people over and, you know what I mean, being very physical, because that's what we've had. We haven't had these little, small, my boy Rudy Diaz type of forwards, you know what I mean? And these guys work. Even Joseph Martinez, he's the same way. Martinez, Rudy Diaz, and all these type of guys, these little forwards, even Chicharito, as we saw today with, he had a brace. We just have to adapt to the type of forward we now have. This is not Daryl Dike. This is not Dom Dwyer. This is not Kyle Larin. So, we're not going to see that. It's a different style, and we have to adjust and realize what we're looking at.
Yeah, Dan, that's all. That was great, Cleon. Good breakdown of it, and give some examples of the stuff you're talking about. You saw where several times he was trying to sort of do hold up, not in the way where he actually held it up. Pasty, he tried to essentially let it run behind.
Yes,
get it and then let it run, and then they stuck their foot in and it didn't work out. You see that that's how he plays. He was trying to do that one-time passes and stuff like that. We're not gonna Barnsley him or just like kick it at his chest and he's gonna hold it down. And what they were trying to do with Tesha, which Tesha didn't do very well at. And exactly. And then I think if you look at when Mendes almost right before he runs into Pato, Pato's here, the ball is like a little to his right, behind his right foot, right? It almost looks like, like Mendes was going to run into it and then set it up a shot. But Pato knew what he was doing, But it looked like he lost the ball behind him.
Exactly what I'm saying. It looks like he lost the ball, but he's not. Yeah, if you go look up Andre Alex Pato and look at all this stuff, this is what he does. That's how he controls the ball.
And
He's
guys,
clearly done that before.
yeah, it's almost like an elastic kind of like Velcro grip to
Mhm.
it, like they could pull it. And if you look at the biggest players in the world, best players, players who are technical, they do not run all the time. This is an American concept, MLS, where everyone's just always pressing and hustling all the time. Ronaldo, Messi, not saying that he's any of those guys. Those guys, Mohamed Salah, these guys barely move. Except, they barely do anything until they get the ball. It's in the area. Really,
Well,
it's really
Zlatan's
true.
a good example too.
Yeah,
Zlatan
Zlatan's a good
Ibrahimovic,
example.
He just he doesn't run. He can't run. He's 41 years old.
No,
but
no,
he's still technical and knows how to where to place the ball and do everything.
Exactly. Yeah, we're gonna see more of that with Pato. Pato's not going to press someone into. I don't know. People get this idea that the press is useful. You need to do it, but one match, Andres Perea, who's 20, who could press, it gets Guzan to kick it out of bounds. They're like, oh, press. That's fine, but I'd rather have Pato reserve his energy and not do some, let them have the ball. The center back have the ball to ping it side by side. Use his energy for a burst for scoring. That's what he's there for. So you need to learn. It's a different style. He's Brazilian. He's been playing in Italy a lot of his career. He plays a little differently. And Cleon, the great, fantastic breakdown of that. And now that you heard that, when you watch Pato's next game, you can see exactly what Cleon is saying.
Watch how many times you'll see, even like how, like Daryl DK, he'll run through contact.
Mm-hmm.
And Pato, he's complete. Even Don Dwyer, he runs into contact. He's looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Pato, he runs. He'll run into it. If he sees you diving, he'll kick the ball off to. Let's say he'll just kick it up ahead or kick it off to the side, jump over the contact, or try to run around it and then just catch up to the ball. Like next time you're sitting there watching him play, or even if you just want to go look up some of those stuff, look, This is what he does. That's how he plays, and eventually we'll all get used to it.
Yeah, Nani does the same thing, which is why. Nani does the same thing. Those guys are trying to do something where we're used to like, oh, it's a physical. You hold it up and you just pass it to the nearest person. Like you ever playing, if you're playing FIFA, you're kind of looking for a pass. You're looking for something and it gets taken from you. That's kind of how those guys play. So when they lose the ball, it gets a lot of criticism between Nani and Pato. They're going to lose the ball more than you want them to lose the ball. It's just the way they play. It's a trade-off. They're gonna pull stuff off that other people do not pull off because they hold the ball that long, because they can, and that's the trade-off. It's Brett Favre is Brett Favre because he threw into traffic sometimes. You guys want sometimes the fan base wants Alex Smith, wants dink and dunk 5 or 6 yards. But this is not how these guys are. That's not why we brought them. Oscar, Ricardo, and Muzi, they know who they are. They don't care if they're as tidy as you want them to be. They want them to be themselves. They want Nani to take that pass, take that shot, and they want Pato to try to run around somebody. That's why they brought him.
Listen, I think this is the first game.
Mm-hmm.
First game, and with the lineup, without Mauricio, without João Montinho, without Robin Janssen. You had 3 starters that weren't even playing. Now put Mauricio.
Maybe 4, because Yuri starts all the time.
Correct. Yuri. Now put Mauricio in there, dishing those dimes into Pato.
Yeah.
And who has a different. You had no number 10 yesterday.
Yeah.
There was nobody really to dish the ball to Pato.
There was no connection from the back to the front.
And something frustrated me at the game yesterday. Fans frustrate me.
Yeah. We know.
I had fans behind me. If you don't know about soccer, don't talk about it. That's one thing I gotta say. Okay. They were complaining about Nani. Okay. Every time Nani had the ball, pass the ball. Listen, who is he passing it to? I'm like, who do you want him to pass it to? I felt like turning around and telling him, who do you want to pass it to? There's nobody he can pass it to. He has to dribble until he finds somebody.
Yeah, JJ, there was a counter. They hit it to Mueller, and they're like, go. I counted it. There was 7 Atlanta players within, there was the 4 back line, the 4 in the back line, and then 3 guys. And then here comes Urso trying to get close to Mueller. Like, where was Mueller going to do with it?
You can't.
It's like, go,
people don't understand. There's tactics to this game.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was more of playing in the midfield because it looked like they were playing for a tie, both of them, to be honest with you. They didn't want to screw up. If somebody screwed up, it would have been a goal, and it would have been a whole different story. Then you had to open up the game, either Atlanta or Orlando, and you would have more goals scored. They were playing tight. They were playing parking the bus, basically. Okay. One parked the bus on one side, the other parked the bus, and we're playing in the mid area. If something gets through, then it gets through. But that's what they did. People don't understand this game. And I just felt like turning around, and I was like, man, who is he going to pass the ball to? And then he would pass it, and the person loses it, or Atlanta gets in there. Yeah, they're covering, they're blocking the lines. There you go. What do you want? That's soccer for you. And they were get him on the bench. Get him on the bench. Bring in Benji. And I'm like, okay, bring in Benji. What's Benji gonna do? He's gonna move to a different position, and now you got a different. So it's like
Benji, like Benji could pass, anyways.
Yeah,
I love Benji, but passing is not what he does.
My main thing is these people, and you're talking about the fan base about Pato, and Cleon hit it right on the spot, and explained what type of striker he is. Okay, and people won't understand that.
Well, now there's no excuse, JJ. They heard the podcast. Yeah, we told them.
Yeah, I agree. But the thing is people are still going to find ways, I mean, everything was Pato around me. I don't know how it was with you guys, but around me at the stadium was Pato. And everybody was like, I need this, I need that. I'm like, dude, what can Nani do? He's trying to play everything. He's trying to play number 10 to the right, play the left. The guy's everywhere. He's even running back to defend.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. He did a lot of defending Saturday, bro. Way more than I'm used to seeing him.
He put a good shift in. Nani worked
way more. Way more than I'm used to.
Him and Mueller too. Mueller and Nani worked
Mueller
hands
also.
off. Mueller was tracking back.
A lot of times he does, but Nani, I don't know how many times. I could count on one hand the amount of times I've seen Nani do.
But as narrow as we were, and as how wide they were, because I mean their fullbacks were up. I mean Lennon and what's the left back's name? I just forgot his name. From Atlanta, whatever.
Bello.
Yeah. I was just mixing up with the other guy. Bello, they were both high up there.
That's who was on that side with Juan, by the way. Bello. He's pretty fast.
Yep.
Yeah, Bello's fast too.
He's not Juan fast. But he's got decent speed.
Yeah. And what's it called? So I mean, they were so wide, and then Nani and Mueller worked hard, and then after the water break, Nani dropped into the midfield a lot to connect it, and he was doing a great job of connecting it and actually creating some chances. Because before that, we were just stuck in our own half. It was just long balls or passing it to Kyle Smith, passing it to the other team, or whatever. We had no cohesion. Thankfully, Nani. But it had Nani's ability to go and do that and help connect things. But imagine if Mauricio was there. Mauricio would be doing that, and Nani could do Nani stuff. Nani has the ability to do that role, but the Mauricio drops deep all the time and would have gotten that. Would have made that happen. It just Mauricio makes our team work so much differently. And John Moutinho too.
I'll be saying Udi also. Udi Rosell. Also, because he knows how to control that ball,
and he's got a range of passing from anywhere.
And he knows the passing. He knows how to do it. Mauricio up front. I'm sorry, but we were missing those players. And for us to have a draw against Atlanta United with Leandro Lopez, I know he's old, but he's a great player, and he lost a lot of weight. I didn't even recognize him. Used to play for FC Porto and everything in France. But I mean, and then you bring in Joseph, and you really shut him out too. You really didn't give the man any chance.
And when he got his head on that ball, I was going to be like, if he scores, it's going to be a riot in here.
Oh my goodness, I thought.
But I mean, for us to come out with the point, I'm very happy, especially with almost a quarter, maybe half of a team that was hurt and not playing our starters. So
that's also Atlanta's third competitive match. You got to remember they're in CCL as well. So they're actually
they should be gelling.
Games. Yeah, exactly. They're 3 games in at this point. They're 3 games deep.
And this is our first one.
This was our first.
We should
and
be very
like you said, Nani's been out since the beginning of preseason, since we way back in
Mendes too.
Mendes has been out. Like Benji hasn't been here. Pereira hasn't been here. You know what I mean? Van der Water just got here.
Exactly.
But he just got here.
To be playing this way and to have a tie against Atlanta, 0 goals.
Yeah.
I'm happy with this tie.
Yeah, how much did Vanderwater and Andres Perea and Sebas Mendes play together? It's like, and we still were able to get production out of it. So absolutely, man. I mean, if you're down after this, I don't understand. Like, as a like for our prospects for the year, that you should be bullish. You'd be like, you know what? Look at what we had out there. Look at the circumstances, and we should have won this. And we're not going to lose a lot of matches, folks. We're just not, unless some catastrophic thing happens. This team is just overall too solid. We have a goalkeeper like Pedro, and then Schlegel and Carlos holding it down there. And then Jansen comes back. Carlos too, man. What a beast! I mean, he's top 5 center back in the league already. I mean, he was good.
Oh, he is. Yeah, he is.
He's good.
He really is.
Well, talking about catastrophic.
Pato.
Huh? What do you say?
Catastrophic. We're going to talk about Patu and his injury.
Patu, that's how you say it. Okay.
Patu.
Okay.
Not Patu. I don't want anybody on Twitter going off on us for saying the names after 5 years.
We heard Pato,
Patu.
Patootie. It was all kinds of names.
It's Patu. Okay.
Patu.
So Patu goes down, like you mentioned earlier, Eddie, on your talk about the Patu's debut. Hopefully, it's not bad. And I've had my ACL and meniscus torn, but I wasn't able to pop up like he did and able to walk like he did when I messed up my ACL playing soccer. So I personally think it might be week to week. But now my question is, if he is out for a long period of time, who takes a spot? Because Tesho to me yesterday looked like he was just thinking about his degree that he just got for his master's.
JJ.
So
JJ.
yeah.
JJ. When has how Tesho play ever affected his playing time?
That's true.
Ever.
Good point. That's a
Don't say we didn't warn you guys. You know what I mean?
We literally said it in the season preview. He's going to start just because.
I think Oscar made a deal. Said, look, Tesho.
And Oscar loves him.
Yeah, Tesho. He said, Tesho, I'm going to take you off at half, but you will start the next 3. I'm sorry. Tesho's like, I'll allow it.
so
then Tesho's going to start the next one. In other words, yeah. Give him another run out there.
So what do you guys think about Patu's injury? Cleon.
Okay.
Or Eddie, or either or. Go ahead, Eddie.
All right. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think I think to be safe, we're playing on Friday. We're going to travel. I think the expectation should be that he won't make it this one. He'll be back for the next match, hopefully. But I don't think we see him on Friday. They're going to according to Julia Poe, they're going to reevaluate him tomorrow. And then, just a few more days, he's got to fly out to Kansas City. The whole different thing, that's not ideal. So it's 33 games, 33 matches left. I think we see no Patu this Friday, and hopefully it's week by week. But the fact that he popped up and was able to walk around and get his man of the match and all that stuff, it means I don't think it was a ACL or anything like that. Maybe it's just a strain. And
if it was an ACL, MCL, you would have heard it already about
Probably,
it.
Yeah.
Already. I mean,
you sure about that?
Oh, again, yes. It's CIA Orlando City.
Bro, Dom Dwyer.
OC KGB.
Bro, Dom Dwyer blew out like 2 knees and had like 2 surgeries, and we didn't hear about it till the next season.
Yeah, man, we can't even get a lineup half an hour before the match. Now.
It's literally they treat injuries like it's the nuclear codes, bro. It's certainly like I don't understand it. I do not understand it.
Yeah, I don't know whatever. Look, if Papi thinks gives him a competitive advantage, then I'm fine. But do you think, Cleon? Do you think he travels this Friday for SKC?
They probably won't. They probably won't. Just out of even if he feels like he can't, they probably. I mean, he can play. They'll probably hold him out. Just because that's what they do.
I don't see him playing Friday.
Yeah, and who starts? Yeah. I'm going to say. Just for the giggles, I'm saying Tesho's going to start again.
It's not even for giggles. It's fact, bro. This Tesho.
Yeah.
Tesho.
You, JJ?
Tesho, of course. I mean, where's Alvarado?
Alvarado, there's been rumors he might go on loan. We'll see.
Oh,
but
okay,
yeah, I'm not sure where, but
It's just funny
who
because he was
knows?
liking our posts on Instagram or pictures. So while
Yeah,
we're
yeah, yeah.
posting
Oh,
it,
that's
there
He
was-
that's
got
my
pictured.
buddy. That's my buddy. Don't worry. Yeah. When he got here, I sent him a little message. He's nice.
But when they were
Oh,
taking pictures, you know how they post pictures of pregame and stuff when people are showing up
was
to the
there.
stadium. He was there.
yeah.
yeah,
He's
But we-
listed as on loan, but who knows?
Yeah, he's listed on loan on the, but whatever that is, he's not there yet. And there was a debut in the 18 from Michael Holiday. We need a backup fullback since
yes.
that'll be
Holiday.
Kyle Smith's spot once Joel is back. And but for now, we needed some. We had a debut for Rio Hope Gund and Gund and Michael Holiday in their first 18. They didn't see any minutes. Mateus Aya saw about 45 seconds, and then that was about it.
That was it. Joey Desart was there also on the 18.
Mhm.
And then
David
I
Lorea.
saw David Lorea, yes.
Mhm.
And then who was it? I saw Raul. I talked to him,
Mhm.
and he waved right back at me. So, but
Mhm.
those guys, I mean, we do got a lot of players, so
Mhm.
it's gonna work out. All right, guys, let's go to our studs and duds for this week. Cleon, let's put you first. Who's your stud and who's your dud?
Stud's really
Don't think
hard,
too hard.
man. Stud's really hard. Let me go. We really didn't have any duds either, man.
Mhm.
Oh, shoot. I'm gonna go dud. I'm going to go Tesho.
Oh, you took mine.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
can
I'm gonna have
agree
to go
that was the
Tesho.
dud. Oh, all
gonna have
right.
to go
That's a dud
Tesho.
for
We're all
us.
agreeing.
I'll
Tesho
give my
was the dud.
stud. I'll give my stud to Nani, just for all the defensive effort he put in. I'm not used to seeing that from you, Cap. So, good on you.
Okay.
All right,
Like
Eddie.
JJ said, Nani was hungry this year. He got those nice snaps of him in the tunnel. Those are good, man.
You like those?
Yeah,
didn't you?
and Nani looked ready, and he put in a good shift. And I thought he changed the match, helped us out. I thought we were under some pressure there until he got into the midfield, and he did a lot of good work. Yeah, occasionally he's gonna hold on the ball too long and all that stuff. And I honestly think the fan base needs to get over it for the most part. Most of the stuff he does is good. Not every pass that doesn't come off is really his fault either. You guys, the guy who passed to Wayne Rooney and to all these players, you think maybe he might see a run that the other player didn't see? Like, is it always
Rudy,
his fault?
Ronaldo, everybody.
Yeah. These guys, like, maybe when he hits the ball somewhere and he goes to the guy like, hey, maybe now he knows what he's talking about. So it's not always on him. But yeah, occasionally he needs to not fall so easily and dive like he does every match, and then pass the ball a little bit. I don't want him to be Mr. Tidy. If you want Tidy, put in Joey Desart or something. I want him to take chances, and there's some passes that only he can make, and that's part of the trade-off, and it's well worth it in my opinion, especially when he puts in a shift like that in both ways,
Yeah.
So Nani was up there for me. I thought Urso got himself in dangerous positions, but if he get that on frame, that'll be helpful. But I mean, he's a useful player. I thought Sebas Mendes, I think our two best chances started because Sebas Mendes, he won the ball high quite often. He was physical. He returned a lot of physicality back to Atlanta. There was one where they roughed up everybody, didn't get a call. Then like Sosa got the ball and then Sebas just ran him over. And that stuff sets the tone. I like that about him. And his passing was progressive and forward, penetrating the ball to Pato, which he missed, and then he passed it back to Mendes, and then he pulled off the back heel for the first time ever. The man pulls off a back heel, and then he blocks the goal
And
that would have
then-
resulted. And then
cleared it.
Then he blocks the goal,
And then
just to
cleared
make
it out
sure-
of bounds.
then to make sure he sends it to the lemonade stand, and so I mean, of all the guy finally pulls off a back heel. I thought he did well. I thought Mueller had some moments, a couple passes late here and there, but I thought he put in a good shift and was dangerous. He got hacked. They should have given him a yellow to Lennon and to Mulroney or whatever for hacking him to death, like infringement. Good Lord. Thought Juan was dangerous. Carlos is steady. And for a second, when somebody tried to chip Pedro, for the moment the guy tried to chip, I was like, I got Brian Rowe like flashbacks. I was like, oh, and then I looked and it was Pedro. Pedro not only did it, Pedro was so chill. He was offended by it that he chested it down and started
He
juggling the ball.
chested it down, bro.
He chested it down. Pedro was like, "You're trying to chip
Brian Rowe
trying
would
to chip-
never.
Yeah, you're trying to chip me, please." So Pedro was solid, and but yeah, there wasn't any dud. at all. And I think some people had better second halves. And, I thought Pato had a better second half. I thought Mendez and Urso did too. And I think Kyle Smith had a better second half. And yeah, that's it pretty much.
So who's your stud? The whole team?
The studs. No, yeah. I did comment on too many, but they were like, everybody was pretty good. If I had to pick, I'm going to pick two. I'm going to say Sebas and Nani. We'll say that.
All right. Sebas and Nani.
Yeah.
So you guys ready for my dud? We said was Tesho. All of us agreed on that.
Yeah.
My stud. Show me the money. He counted. Man. Kyle Smith. I mean, this guy had 87% pass rate. Okay. I mean, he just 2 crosses came in. One of them was actually not bad. 65 touches. This guy, not a left back. Remember, not a left back. He's more of a right back. He came in and he showed what he can do and play on the left side. I'm happy. We have a good backup left back in Kyle Smith.
Yeah, well, look, this whole Kyle Smith thing, in my opinion, has jumped the shark a little bit. Okay,
why?
There's always a player who, with like 2 years ago, Chris Mueller, where we kind of get enchanted by hustle and hard, and we have low expectations.
It's
and
one
as long
game.
as they meet that,
he was a stud in that game.
It's been like this since last year. As long as he's like above replacement, he's not a liability that much. We're happy. Kyle Smith's the kid who you put in right field, who, as long as he doesn't, drop the ball and stuff, you feel pretty good about it. And if he gets a hit or makes a catch, you're like, wow, good job, little Johnny, you did good. So,
So you're telling me just because go ahead.
The 87% of that, the 87%, those numbers are fine. There's nothing wrong with the number or clearances. You can point out all that stuff, but it matters how and when and where. 87% of that was passing it to Antonio. How many of those were back to Schlegel or Antonio Carlos? How many forward progressive passes did he complete? Not very many. He said it himself. He needed to get better making some passes forward. And then attacking wise in the half. I mean, literally nothing in our half, and any contribution of note whatsoever. Papi's had a habit of where in the past with Dallas, he would send one fullback up. It felt like we were doing that because we had a back three for a while. Anytime Huron was up, Kyle was just in our half the whole time. He was fine. I think he settled down and had some good moments, but you'll see him like let a ball go out of bounds, shield a guy, and the crowd will go crazy, or slide tackle on a lazy pass. And
that's part of the game, crazy. Eddie. That's part
fine,
of the game.
But those are things you're supposed to do. It's not like special is what I'm trying to tell you.
What's special that he's supposed to do? Go explore a goal as a left back? Leave it open?
Like they hit someone's feet and like create a chance, or hit someone in where they're actually running forward.
Back. He's not a mid.
Don't pass it back to Pedro. Don't everyone's. I heard a proverbial butt clinch of that lazy back pass to Pedro. He got bailed out on. And then for a while there was a 20-minute stretch where he got picked on by Atlanta over and over and over again.
But he stopped them every time.
He
stopped them every time.
He did not stop him every time.
They
almost scored a goal if it wasn't for Kyle Smith
Eddie. Yes,
putting his feet out there.
They almost scored a goal. Yeah, Mendes. There was one where he
literally blocked a shot. Not his man, by the way. He blocked someone else's man's shot.
So did Urso and Mendes blocked shots of Kyle.
Okay, so it's okay for Urso and Mendes, but not Kyle Smith.
Nobody's saying, but that makes what?
It's okay for Urso and Mendes, but not Kyle Smith.
No, but Urso got a shot off in the box, got his head on a ball. Do you remember that ball that Tesha went over the top?
Bro. That's
that's Urso should be there.
You asked me a question, you got to answer. Let me answer. Urso got a ball over the top to Tesha, and Tesha went out to the left. That was positive. But Sebas won the ball. There was one where Kyle Smith was giving him too much space because they were smoking him. The guy cut inside. Kyle seems like he almost falls in. Urso goes in. Urso and Mendes. Yeah, Urso and Mendes go inside and stop him in the box.
One time he did.
He had 2 fouls that he committed in the 18-yard area.
And then he cleared it away.
Oh my gosh, that's like saying you lost your wallet and you find it. Congratulations.
Oh my gosh. When Schlegel did a foul, or Antonio Carlos, they're defenders. He's a left back.
They're gonna foul.
They're gonna foul.
But okay, you guys are literally, your argument is that a left back is going to foul, but my argument isn't that he made a foul. It's where. This is next level beyond the surface.
So if he would have, if the
where
guy
you
would have
made a
passed him and
foul.
went one-on-one,
Only
with the
one. He
goalkeeper,
had two fouls. He had
Yeah.
two fouls. He had two fouls.
Two
that
dangerous free
resulted in
kicks, both of them.
No,
Yeah.
one. There was one dangerous free kick. The other foul he had, that was way up by. It was way up by the sideline. The one, he had one dangerous free kick. That was the first one. And after he committed that one, he's the one that cleared away the danger after.
Wow, he took his own garbage out.
By the way,
that's what he's supposed to do. What do you want him to do? Let him score?
Nobody ever took the ball away from him either.
Don't commit that foul. Don't commit that foul. And
if he doesn't commit it, then what?
You guys,
he had 7 clearances. 7 clearances.
That 7 clearances, it depends on what the clearances are. Sometimes if you get
5 of them were headers. 5 of them were headers.
That is fine. Okay. What does that have to? That is good.
They're
That's
in
what
the
he's
box.
supposed to do. So now a defender's allowed to foul.
So you just said that's what he's supposed to do.
You're gonna let me talk. A defender's supposed to foul, is allowed to foul because that's what defenders do. But then you're praising header clearances. You're supposed to do.
That's
how
what
many
a
of those
defender's
were
supposed to do.
Exactly. Then why are you praising it? You're
playing
both sides of the fence. And how many of those were corners?
How do we crap on Johnson? How do we crap on Johnson for not clearing away headers and giving up all these set piece goals?
Hey, do you know how many clearances Antonio Carlos had?
Then be mad that Carlos is clearing them away.
Who cares? You think as
a defender?
That just means they kicked it in Kyle Smith's area. Jeez, like what does that matter? This is like you're saying when you hit a corner, if they're focusing on an area and you clear it, you're supposed to clear it.
Yes.
Like, what does that matter?
What
did that matter? Like Nani, how many clearances? Nani had more clearances than Carlos had. Does that mean Carlos had a bad match? This is a dumb conversation. So what happened? There was times where
but Nani is a different player than what.
But he had clearances on corners. I counted at least 3 Nani clearances. So we're gonna praise him for clearances, right? Okay. So there was several times, and I'm talking about a 20-minute stretch where the left winger Montero, whatever his name is, came in, cut to the right, and had far post headers that were just inches away. That Kyle Smith lost his guy several times.
It never
absolutely
happened.
Fact happened. Yes,
it never happened.
He never sent a cross in, Cleon. Really, the left winger never sent a cross far post.
Bro, there were two. Yeah, one that I literally had to go back because we had this big argument. So I literally had to go back and rewatch the game, and I was literally tracking this.
And one was accurate.
I was literally tracking it. He had two. There were two.
It's a positive for him.
One where a guy got to the byline and just crossed it. It was a nothing cross. He kicked it straight out of the box. It went nothing. It wasn't even dangerous. There was one, and besides that, the winger got one cross off.
Which winger are you talking about?
The whole first half.
Which winger are you talking about?
I'm not sure if it was. I'm not. What do you mean? Which winger?
Which winger are you talking about? Which winger are you talking about? There's 2 wingers.
11.
Which side is that?
What do you mean the one on his side? What do you mean?
I just needed you. We're having a conversation. You're not paying attention.
Brooks Lennon,
the left winger. Brooks Lennon is the fullback. We're not. I said the left winger. Several times hit a far post cross where Kyle.
But that's not true. Is what I'm telling you.
Left winger. And
that's
then
not
Brooks
true,
Lennon.
Eddie. It's
Brooks
not
Lennon.
True.
Yes, it is. Brooks Lennon.
On
guys.
It's on tape. The game was recorded. It's on tape.
Did Barco do anything? Did Molinari Did Molinari do anything? That whole side
it didn't happen, Eddy.
They attacked the right for a while. They did,
and they did not succeed.
This is I feel like I'm arguing. You guys, okay? Listen here, okay?
Bro, it's in your head, bro. I'm telling you.
No, it's not in my head because
it's on video.
Anyone who just watches the TV angles and doesn't see anything with their eyes, you sit ground level behind the goal. You don't.
Bro, it's on
everything.
TV. Who cares
That's
about
part of it.
It's on TV.
You don't.
Eddie.
It's only part of it.
There's rewind, zoom, fast forward.
This guy's got the film where he could zoom in fast. He could zoom into players. This guy Cleon's got the only film. Look, this is the breakdown, guys.
Why does he think sitting up in the second level of whatever north side of the stadium and in the end section is better than someone's
The end
angle on
section.
TV.
Hey,
Like, it
Because
doesn't make sense.
yes, because no one who watches any film of any sports
Eddie,
uses
do
the
you
TV
really think
film.
you have a better view than TV?
No, I said earlier the TV
Really?
catches some stuff I don't, but and then there's stuff
Bro,
I
come
catch that
on,
the TV
man.
isn't
all
showing.
right, guys.
No,
All right,
no,
all right,
JJ,
all
no,
right.
we're not. No, because the way the TV shows is it shows the entire all film the coaches watch in any sport is the entire field. Just because someone doesn't launch a cross off doesn't mean he didn't beat his guy. It perhaps, I don't know if you guys can get this in your head, perhaps he had nobody to pass it to. You can beat your guy, you can create space, you could have your guy on skates, but there's no one to pass it to. Even Atlanta's own analysis was that Lennon and Mulvaney had plenty of opportunities, had plenty of the ball, got open, but they had no one to send it to. Little old man Lopez was being covered by our top 5 center back, Antonio Carlos. Other people were in the way. So just because you don't have a stat resulting from that play doesn't mean that the defense was good by that particular player on that play. That's how you watch a sport, not you pick out a stat when someone could smoke someone, nobody could be there, and he doesn't pass it. That is no stat you can refer to in any capacity. And why the hell would the TV even bother looking at it at that point? There's the difference. That's the difference. That's the difference.
He got somebody went by him one time. Morini got by him.
Barco had 0 crosses.
One time.
Morini
Barco's on the other side.
Eddie, it's on TV.
No, Barco's
Like,
on
it
the
literally
other side.
sit there and
JJ.
tracked
Hit
it.
him.
Rewatch the game and
So
track
what
it.
about him?
Hyman's a midfielder. Hyman's a midfielder.
So Souza. So none of those 3 guys were on the right side. So you didn't see Mulvaney and Lennon were on that right side.
On the right side,
Well,
yes.
It's literally on
said,
TV.
And I also said on the left wing as well. On the left wing as well, they sent some crosses, back posts that just missed where Kyle lost his runner. And if they connect, you guys are like, there are just 2 crosses. All it takes is one to connect for it to matter. And he got beat inside on a play where Urso or Mendes stopped the guy right in the box. And
Yeah, but he
happen.
he stopped.
The only guy that stopped somebody in the box was Kyle Smith.
We're spending
Yes,
we're spending as
people in the
long
box.
talking about stats and whatever whatever Twitter, MLS Twitter, recording decided to show. We're taking as much time talking about that than the amount of time I'm talking about Kyle had a bad stretch. I mean, talk about the soft bigotry of low expectations. This is what this is. This is literally what this is. This is what this is.
Can we talk about the preview?
One last thing.
Then the 20-minute spell he sucked.
One last thing. I'm gonna say this: when a play needs to be reviewed, doesn't matter what sport, whether you need to see if the ball crossed the goal line,
that's not even what I'm talking about.
NFL or anything.
Just stop there.
If you need to see what happened, does the referee say, "Let's go to the TV review," or do they say, "Let's go ask the guy up in the 7th level in row N"?
That's not even. That's apples and oranges. That makes no sense. If you need to see if it went out of bounds, if you need to see close up, you see close up. If you can see whether if the camera's focusing on one matchup, it doesn't show whether they're open. So if that guy gets open and then the camera doesn't show that he has no options on the other side, that's not going to show the context of the result of the play.
You were up on the 2nd level. Did
Uh-huh.
you see Pato? I mean, I had to ask Cleon, who was on the other side, Pato's PK, if it was PK or not, because I mean, we're sitting behind the goal on the other side. We couldn't really see it, but you were up there, so you got the whole view. Were you able to see if it was a PK or not?
That's where Cleon's special all 22 tape can work, because that's when you zoom into close stuff. But if you're looking at someone from one side and you're looking at what options he has, you don't need a narrow view. You need a wide view. It's just that simple.
You cannot
There's
convince me. You cannot convince me. You go
there's
to
a reason-
Orlando City game
there's
and you're
nobody
watching
who-
one player out of 22 players on the pitch
No,
all
that's
game
what
long.
I'm not
You're
doing.
watching
No.
one player.
No, that's
That's
what the TV
how you would
does.
have to convince me that you're only watching Kyle Smith through the
That's
entire
the
game.
opposite
to know
argument.
What happened leading up.
That would actually hurt my argument. That makes no sense whatsoever. The
Yes,
fact
it
is,
does
when
hurt
people,
your argument. That's
when
what I'm
people,
trying to say.
No, it doesn't.
Bro, you're
saying I'm
not
watching one
going to
guy
the game
hurts
and
your
watching
argument.
Kyle Smith all game long. You're
no,
not.
but
You're
if
not,
the
Eddie.
guy if the guy has the ball in front of him, I can see whether Kyle Smith does it. The reason nobody sits where you two sit to scout a player or to watch a game or to watch film in any
No
sport
one does. You watch
ever.
it on film on
Nobody
TV.
watches either one of you. They want to get a bigger view because that's how they view the game. It's not a
Yes,
superior
that's
seat
why
or
you watch
anything.
the
It's
TV
about a bird's eye
replay.
view. Yes. No, they
That's
don't
why
have
you
the
watch
TV.
the
They
TV
don't watch it.
replay.
They don't
Not the
watch the
fan
TV
So when you go to
replay.
film review,
No
after,
scout watches the TV
isn't there a film
replays.
review
They have different
after the
tape.
game?
Yes, they have
Which is
different
they have to see
tape.
it on TV.
The and you guys, you go to, if NFL has all 22, where they have two views, all 22 means all 22 players. There's a view end zone and there's a view from the middle, and that's way they see. In other words, the TV will show that guy looked open, and then the all 22 will be like, whoops, there was a safety who was lurking and you didn't see him on the TV view. No one who watches film just watches the MLS and 15 or the whatever Fox. You guys are referring to the television, which today, again, for Inter Miami, could allow, they could not overturn a clear offsides because of the TV view you guys are referring to as
But they
evidence
had
against my
angles
argument.
that was straight right there.
That's your TV view. They couldn't get an offsides
No.
right.
They
Come
had
on.
a camera. They had 3 camera views. One was right there. Now, is it my fault? VAR, that's VAR's fault, correct?
That thing was like crooked like this. They couldn't make a line out of that because the
All right.
TV angle, the TV camera was in the back spot. Just
All
talking
right,
about a
let's-
10, 15 minute
You
stretch.
played
We wasted all this
good. You
time on
played
it.
good Saturday, Kyle Smith. You played good, man.
Yeah, I
Yes,
think
you
he
did.
did overall.
Show
You don't
me the
always,
money.
you don't always, but Saturday you played well.
That's why he wasn't a dud. He wasn't a stud
So
either, but he
when-
wasn't a dud. But
When
this,
you're crap, I'm gonna
this
call you
idea-
crap. When you're not crap, I'm gonna say you were crap. You were good.
he wasn't
good
a
Saturday.
dud. He wasn't a dud, but he wasn't a stud either. And in the second half he was fine. He was one of our better players for today. I didn't say anything against that. That's a straw man argument. I didn't say he was bad.
You said he
for the
got
whole
killed
game.
all game. It's not true.
I didn't say he'd get killed on game. That's not true whatsoever. I think you're just arguing just to make a show.
I'm
But I
not.
never said
All
he got killed on game. I said he got killed for 20 minutes. For 20 minutes or so,
All right.
give or take, he was being picked on, and
We've
it
been
almost
20 minutes
definitely
on this
picked on.
subject. Guys,
He was
guys,
definitely
right,
picked on,
jeez.
but it didn't work.
What?
guys, we've been 20 minutes on this subject already.
Yeah, I got
We got it.
receipts.
We got
I
it.
know what
We're
I'm
at
We got
saying.
it.
106.
We got it.
Yeah.
We got it. All right, let's
Jeez.
talk about the preview for this Friday against Sporting Kansas City. Sporting Kansas City coming off a victory over the Red Bulls, 2-1. Goals were being scored by a PK in the 59th minute by Kinda. Is that their name? Kinda.
That's actually his
then,
name, bro.
Kinda.
Yeah, his name's actually kind of.
Kinda. Okay. And then Saloy, who scored a goal in a minute later in the 60th minute. But one thing is certain, the Red Bulls did control a lot of this game, from possession to shots on goals were even fouls were more towards the Red Bulls. But Red Bulls did make this a game, but unfortunately those two goals back to back hurt the Red Bulls. Guys, what do you think about this week against Sporting Kansas City? Could Orlando come out with the victory? Maybe with no Pato and Tesho starting. Cleon.
I'm worried about the attack with if Pato's not there and if we start Tesho. Somehow Poppy likes to, he pulls it out, so man, it's tough. I think it's gonna end up like a draw or something, man. Honestly. Low scoring game. That's how he's gonna have to play. If that's what we're doing. No Mauricio, no Pato, possibly, most likely. So I mean, it could be, you might have to play ugly. What's he calling him? A Poppy special? Smash and grab?
Yep.
Yeah, you might have
Smash
to
and
bunker
grab.
and then bunker and hope for a counter, man.
Eddie, what do you
Yeah, I
think
think
about this preview?
Yeah, I think we'll see. No Pato.
Patu.
This match, yeah, Patu, and we'll see Perea in that spot, that kind of 4-3-3 or whatever it was, and then probably Tesho start. I mean, hopefully, if we're gonna do smash and grab counter and throw Benji at the 9, yes, I don't know, but That's me. I think 1-1.
That's what I would do too. But
yeah, 1-1 is, I think, the outcome, especially if Polito plays. He was on the bench, I believe. If Polito plays, they're much better.
Russell was too.
Russell was too. Russell's nasty. He always gives us a tough time, a lot. And I think we're gonna just you're gonna see 2 lines of 4 basically, in there tight, and then hope we sneak out. And Nani just came back too. Maybe he doesn't travel too. It's a long season, so it could be an interesting lineup on Friday. And I think 1-1 is what I expect to happen.
All right, 1-1. Cleon, what's your score prediction?
1-0 Orlando.
1-0 Orlando. All right. Well, I think you'll see Polito in there. You'll see Russell. I think with Eddie, I don't think Nani or Patu might show up to this game, and because you'll have Mauricio, Yuri probably will be back, and Robin, who knows on his status, but he looked pretty okay to me. So did João Montinho, to be honest with you. So I think João Montinho, in about 2 to 3 weeks, he'll be back. But so we don't have to worry about this argument about Kyle Smith anymore. Yeah. So
you guys thought Kamal Miller should start last year, and so one of you did. So.
And I see Orlando City losing this game. I see Sporting Kansas City stronger because you'll have Polito and you'll have Russell in there. So I'll go 2-1 Sporting Kansas City. Unfortunately, that'll be our first loss. And we lose. We can't predict every win for Orlando City. We got to be realistic. So this will be a loss, I think, for Orlando City.
Yeah, and I'm glad at this point, that these 3 games don't count for the Open Cup. Because
do we even know if they don't?
I don't know.
Well, according to U.S. Open and MLS, it is canceled definitely. So
they didn't say definitely. They said it could be played later in the year.
I'm assuming they would probably come up with something else.
Yeah, I would assume too, but it's MLS, bro.
Yeah,
because I would have never assumed they were going to do. Let's just count the first 3 games of the year, because that's ridiculous, and they did that. So who knows? I would see nothing more. The only thing more ridiculous than counting the first 3 games is postponing it to later in the year and still counting only the first 3 games. That seems literally impossible, but it's MLS, and they're idiots.
For real. They're gonna do something like dumb, like most goals at home, so that Miami could get in.
Probably, just like Atlanta.
Most least mask worn Inter Miami wins.
Most goals scored at home versus LA Galaxy,
or the cheaters with Matuidi.
Yeah. Team furthest away from their
most DPs on the team gets in.
Team furthest away from their actual namesake. All
right, guys, we're doing a new segment starting today. It's called Shout Out. So anything related from soccer related, anywhere from around the world, give a shout out. Cleon, you can be first. What's your shout out?
Oh, I got a shout out. I got a shout out to one of my favorite all-time Orlando City players, Sasha Kljestan. And everyone knows how big a fan I am of Sasha Kljestan. Always have been. Never said a bad word about this man ever in my life.
Never?
Never.
Oh,
yeah. Sasha Kljestan showed up today for me and buried that old trash into Miami. You're still trash. 24 games in, and you're still trash. Still bottom of the league. Still 0 points. Still sitting at the bottom. Still got the second. You might be the worst now. The worst all-time club record in points per game. Into Miami. You're number 2. Chivas USA is better than you, buddy.
No, and that was a 2 free goals. I mean, they got an offside goal because of the amazing TV camera, and the PK where Pizarro kicked someone else and he got a PK.
Shout out, Sasha.
Shout out.
Always a lion. Build a statue.
There you go. I got a shout out too. Shout out to Kyle Smith for bouncing back after that rough spell.
All right, my shout out goes to Cadez from Nashville SC. Benfica player that's on loan to Nashville, doing good jobs there, along with Mukhtar, who's also a former Benfica player. So it looks like Nashville is the one that's getting all the Benfica players, while Orlando City's partnership isn't working out very well. So that was my shout out.
All right.
JJ going to
Gotcha.
JJ.
Yeah.
Had to. Sorry.
Had to.
All right, guys.
That's it.
Cleon, it's that time.
This one's actually hurting my heart to say. No Patu, no party. It might not be Pato.
Pato, Orlando City, vamonos. We'll see you guys next week, hopefully with the full squad here at Orlando Lions. Until next week, see you guys.